So week 12 is also finished and we are now going to week 13. So this week specifically have been a little bit more of an emotional roller coaster. And I'm not sure if you ever done anything where either you're learning a new skill, doing a new job or whatever, and you going along and then you hit like a point where you feel like either you're not going anywhere or you're even going backwards. So this week had those kind of moments pop up in certain days. So quick overview. On the Monday specifically, we not only worked on our basic combinations, we actually started light sparring. So basically we would do our punches, kicks and whatnot. We will kind of go into a takedown position, but then stop before we actually got there. Tuesday we did more snatches and squat work, which was very cool and definitely made me realize how strong I got in certain points. On the Wednesday it was just pure BJJ, and Thursday we actually did a 5k run. Now Thursday I did not get any footage, but also for the Thursday night I went back because we had our photo shoots. Now I'm not sure when I'm editing this if I'm gonna have the photos available by then. If yes, I will chuck it in about now. If not, I'm not gonna be able to. But those photos turned out really cool. Now on the Thursday I also stayed for actual boxing class at night, which was fun. And on the Friday we again did more wrestling, but this time I actually was able to also make the Saturday and we did more wrestling there too. So let's talk about a couple of things that happened this week. So first and foremost is, as you see right here, that is a slightly bit of a black eye, and that happened on the Monday. Like we're doing light sparring technically, and I think there was one specific punch that kind of got in and kind of hit me, and it kind of bruised underneath my eye. But I wasn't the only one. There was other guys as well that had it. So the whole week I had a black eye, which kind of makes me look tough, or at least trying to. But that was interesting to have that. Now keep going with the week that I had a number of realizations. Like for example, just this week probably the biggest thing is recognizing hurdles and getting over hurdles as well. And I am doing a course called Wimp to Warrior, right? So I am trained to become a warrior, and I had a few things happen this week where I was challenged to become a warrior. So for example, I had a transfer in my full-time job. So basically I'm gonna go to a different kind of business altogether. So it was kind of between that or not working in the industry as well. But that in itself, although it was just change, it was not everything that I was told, like it was nothing to do with me because I was pretty new, like just don't need that much stuff, they need to kind of change things. That kind of still kind of reveled so many emotions for me. And I kind of find it funny that we had that experience on the same week that I got my black eye. Because I was thinking about it, the fact that it's just a scar, a bruise, a bump along the way that actually makes you into the warrior who you need to become. And like we have these scars and bruises and bumps physically as I'm training to become, actually have an MMA fight, but also we need to have those same scars, bumps and bruises on our soul and spirit to toughen us up. And that was my spiritual and emotional toughening up for the week for sure. Because I know on the Wednesday when I was rolling, I was a little bit more on the edge. I was a bit more emotional. I wasn't able to stay calm. I wanted to try to force things, and when I did, I would get submitted, or I would get someone just completely crush my face with a body weight. But I find it fascinating that I was able to go from there, and like talking to the coaches, talking to some of my friends, and my mentor specifically, I was able to kind of grow from there and realize, okay, revamp, like, what do I actually want to get? What do I actually want to go for? And reset. Like, these challenges come into our lives for reasons. Like, you can either look at it as a way that you're not going to be able to do anything, or you can look at it as a way, okay, how can I grow from this? So I chose growth. So I know I got some action plans to do in that part of my life. But it did give me the opportunity to kind of take some time off, reflect on what I actually want to do, catch up on a little bit on the videos, because I am a bit behind when I'm recording this, but also kind of reevaluate where I want to go and how I actually want to go forwards to do that. So the other thing, as I was editing videos and kind of catching myself doing this, is that it has been interesting. It's been fascinating. Those sayings, that phrase, I've been saying it over and over again. And like, for me, it's like one of those like thinking phrases. Instead of those, I would say that to give myself to think. Which, when you're editing and you hear yourself say it over and over again, obviously pops out more. But this is the other thing as well, is that recording yourself, and either recording yourself for video when you're talking and actually sharing your story of life, or in this case, my martial arts fight, you get to reflect on everything. Like, I get to reflect on how I move physically. I can see, okay, I'm moving better here, I'm moving better there, I need to still work on this, but also my speech patterns. For me, this is important. I love speaking, I love talking to people. So being able to have the opportunity to do that, I think it's really cool. So it just sticks out that when you're doing something, I just want to just kind of mention the fact that I'm probably going to look back at some of the videos and earlier videos. I'm going to be cringing so hard that maybe this wasn't right, maybe that wasn't right, but it doesn't really matter. It's part of the journey. It's part of the blocks and roads to go forwards. It's not just, it's the warrior training, the time on the mat that counts, and in this case, time on actually putting into filming videos, but also the warrior scars count that build you up who you need to become. So that has been interesting. But I've been loving the journey so far. So I want to read something to you. Now, this comes from a book called Mastery by George Leanord. It's a really good book. It's a very short book, to be very honest. But he talks about the fact that, like, what mastery is, and the guy who wrote it, he's, I think, a second dan black belt in Aikido, but what he says is very relevant when it comes to learning a new skill and going on the journey of discovery or mastery or improvement and personal development. So let me read you this. Learning any new skill involves relatively brief spurts of progress, each of which is followed by slight decline to a plateau, somewhat higher in most cases than which preceded it. In actual learning experience, progress is less regular, the upward sprouts vary, the plateaus have their own dips and rises along the way. But the general progression is almost always the same. To take the master's journey, you have to practice diligently, strive to hone your skills to attain new levels of competence. But while doing so, you also have to be willing to spend most of your time on a plateau, to keep practicing even when you seem to be getting nowhere, and I might also add, even if you seem to going backwards. So we all have our challenges, we all have our setbacks, we all have our warrior scars. But remember, when we are going towards something that it's worth failing for us, it's more important to just stay on the mat. Because as I talked about in the past, I used to be a toxic perfectionist. And one of the things I had to realize, and my mentor helped me realize, is that I need to, instead of having these massive expectations and living my life to these unrealistic expectations of always being at X level, which you might not be able to do all the time, you might not be able to be 100% all the time, just follow 2 rules for life. And rule number 1 is be in the ring, be on the mat, be on the field, whatever that means for you, whether it's painting, whether it's art, whether it's your career or martial arts. Be on the map, just be there. Just 80% is showing up for a reason. It's like, if you can't do anything, just show up. Like, by osmosis, you're gonna absorb some information. And number 2 rule for life is just do your best. Sometimes the best you can do that day is just get out of your bed. Sometimes the best that you can do for that day is just make one call. Sometimes the best for that day is just do one push-up. Or sometimes the best thing you can do that one day is not eat that one more chocolate. It's not about being perfect all the time. It's actually just doing your best every day and just being in the ring or on the field or in the game of life every day, whatever you may choose. So I hope you enjoyed that this week. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Again, appreciate you so much. Stay awesome. I'll see you in the next video.